Welcome to Life is Good. I'm Heather McHugh, your ever-loving hostess, and you'll never guess who we have here today.
He rocks in the treetop all the day long, hopping and a bopping and a singing his song. All the little birds on Jaybird Street love to hear the robin go tweet, 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 rockin' robin, tweet, tweet, rockin' robin.
It's easy to spell. His name is D, the letter D. He's a musician, he's a composer, and he travels around on his motorcycle and showed up at my house today. Yes, you did. And it's so great that you're here because I've heard some of your music. And what inspires you?
It's also a lot of things that inspire me as it's current events that do inspire me because I'm very concerned about what's going on in this country right now. But it's also overall issues of human relationships, love, hate, insecurity, doubt, relationships, just the age-old topics that are always presented.
Not once did you say romance, but you did throw in love. But every other emotion, if you just hear instrumentals, it can bring it out. When I hear a violin, I get very sad. When I hear sax, I get a different kind of emotion. At my age, it's lucky to have that emotion. But whatever I hear can do that. But when you had your lyrics, which I have heard, I was stunned by your honesty and the way you attack a subject. Give it a vocabulary and make it sound like an anthem.
Oh, thank you. I really appreciate it. Yeah, I don't consider myself like a political artist in the wider sense, but I just write about things that affect me and that I care about and that I have strong feelings about, and I try to express those.
Well, I was telling you about having watched the Dylan movie and then having traveled across the country with absolute yuppies who were attending Berkeley. And I asked them 10 years ago, what were you doing in New York? And they all said the same thing. We're applying for different internships at different financial institutions. When we graduate, we want to be hedge fund managers. And none of them had any inkling of the history of the political activism of Berkeley. And then when I saw the Dylan movie, I couldn't stop crying. I sobbed. And my friend said I was so upset that she had to drive me home.
Oh,
and your music could be the Dylan of now.
Well, those are some very, very big shoes that I would have to fill, I suppose, considering that Bob Dylan is the only singer-songwriter who ever received the Nobel Prize.
He did, and he didn't go to get it. He didn't go to get it, but every bit helps. And there doesn't have to be a Nobel Prize at the end of it. You just have to reach a certain audience.
Yeah.
And a lot of the audience needs to be awakened right now, and we're coming up to a very big time where there's going to be a big parade in honor of President Trump.
Oh my God.
And there's going to be half of the country protesting that. And these are difficult times for everybody. And I hate to say both sides. I'm a mediator by profession, so I'd like to bring them together. I think music is a great international language to either bring people together or wake them up and then bring people together. So I wish you luck on that. You're going to be hearing some of Dee's music during the show. At this point where we're interviewing now, it's at the beginning of June, and you won't see this show probably until midsummer.
That's correct, yeah.
Because that's when Labyrinth, the album, will be released, and then we'll click it into the show and you can listen to that too. And the lyrics are haunting and beautiful. And I don't hear well sometimes, and today was one of the days I wasn't hearing very well. I had to get right up close and really feel the vibe. And I heard the words, and it was soft and gentle. It was like the ocean. Just every wave was a little stronger. Every wave was a little stronger, and then it kept receding, and then coming in again like the tides. So I hope you enjoy it, because I do. It's all about me. I enjoy it, so you will.
Thank you,
Really?
thank you, no, thank you, I appreciate it.
No, you're welcome. Let's talk about you a little bit more. You're in this country. You're from Germany.
That's correct, yeah, I was born and raised in Germany. I came here in 1999, so I suppose it's been 26 years now, so it's a long time. And yeah, I mean, I'm pretty assimilated, you could say. Like, this is the place where I live now, which is in the Hudson Valley in New York, is the place that I have lived for the longest in my life, of all places that I've lived. So I consider that my home, and I know all the ins and outs because I like being outside. I like hiking and riding my motorcycle and doing things like that. So I know the northeast of the United States very well.
Yeah, well, I'm glad. But you do this trip to Newport every year.
I do this trip to Newport every year. So every year I'm a member of the motorcycle BMW Owners of Vermont. Even
We
though
have a
I do
motorcycle BMW Owners of Vermont.
Yes.
It's because we can spell it.
Yes. Yeah. So the BMW Riders of the Vermont, or the legendary BMW Riders of Vermont, as they like to call themselves, they do this ride every year, and it starts in Derby Line,
Yeah.
right on the Canadian border, and it goes all the way down to Greenfield, Massachusetts, with an overnight stay near Barnard, Vermont, which is in the
How many people do it?
Woodstock area. Probably like 50 or 60, and it's all on dirt roads. Like, there's no paved road except when you go through town every and it's called the Puppy Dog Ride.
Isn't that cute? I have heard of it.
You have heard of it?
Yes,
Okay.
but I never knew it was a BMW group and that it started in Derby Line.
It is a BMW group, and it starts in Derby Line. It'll be tomorrow. It's always for the first week of June, so the first weekend in June that I always come up here to Vermont, and it's been a bit of a tradition for me. I've been doing that for over 15 years, and hopefully I'll be doing it for much longer. And it's also a very special part of this ride is that it was started and it was led for many, many years by a lady named Muriel Farrington. She used to be the president of the BMW club, and sadly she passed away last year at the age of, I think, 82, but she rode this ride all on dirt roads until the very end.
Did she live in Derby?
No, she did not live in Derby. She lives somewhere around Woodstock, I believe.
Oh,
She
okay.
did live somewhere around.
I did not hear that name. It's Muriel
Muriel Farrington.
Farrington.
Yes.
Well, let's dedicate
She was a
this
very
show to
special
Muriel
lady.
Farrington. If anybody's watching this who knew Muriel Farrington, let's just send a little prayer up and hope she's doing well wherever she is now, riding in the sky.
Hopefully she's riding in the sky, yes.
Yeah. BMW, how fast do they go?
I mean, this ride is all on dirt roads, so, you don't go as fast as you would on paved roads.
How fast can a BMW motorcycle go?
My BMW motorcycle can go about 110 miles an hour, I believe,
Okay.
which
but-
is not something that I do very often.
No, but you peel out of my driveway at 110 miles an hour, people will think I'm cool.
It will take me a little bit to get up to 100 miles an hour.
Really? Well, it's 0 to how many? Like 0 to how many minutes to get there? On flat surface, on the Autobahn.
I don't know, because it's not typically what I do. I like speed, but the maximum speed is not necessarily the goal of how fast you can possibly go.
Well, I know. I just figured I'd ask because you're a motorcycle guy. So cool. BMW was originally an aircraft.
They were originally an aircraft manufacturer. They were founded during World War I believe, and they made aircraft engines during the First World War. Yeah, and then they started making motorcycles in 1923. And the specific BMW motorcycle I ride is the 75th anniversary edition.
Is that right?
That is right. So it
It
was
would be-
made in
well-
1998.
So yeah. Well, my father was born in 1923.
Wow.
So he was a motorcycle guy after World War II. And he used to call them murder cycles. And he said, Heather, you're never allowed to ride a motorcycle. Never, never, never.
And did you?
Yes, I did. I never
Okay.
drove one. No, never. I had an undercover job at one point where I would be occasionally picked up by my partner on a 750 something, whatever.
Okay.
And
So you were a
and
passenger.
I was a passenger because I was working undercover.
Yeah. What did
And-
you do undercover?
I will tell you off stage.
Okay.
But we would go out and I would be part of his cover, whoever my partner was that time. And they put me on a motorcycle, and of course it was undercover. My father didn't know what I was doing. Nobody knew what I was doing. And one night I was picked up on a something 750. I don't know them, whatever it was. And I was dressed for the part, which was not much of a lady. And my father was out in his yard, and we drove by my father, and we locked eyes. And I said to my partner, "You have to turn around." He said, "I can't." "You have to turn around, sir. You have to turn around." Turned around, went to my father's driveway, and Dad said, "What are you doing on a motorcycle? You're forbidden. And who is this man?" I went, "I can't tell you. I can't tell you, Dad." And he just reached out and he said, "Sir, I'm taking good care of her, and she's doing a job for right now." And he had a very rude patch on his jeans because he was dressed for what we were doing. And my father read the patch, and he just grabbed me and he said, "Well, you're not going tonight, not with him." And so we had to explain that we were really doing
This undercover.
an undercover job. And Dad, please don't tell anybody. Please let me go.
I can't
Poor Dad.
wait to hear about it once we are off camera.
Yeah, that was on and off for a whole year. That was a phenomenal experience for me. But that was my motorcycle experience, and forbidden.
Wow.
But the only problem I had was getting cold.
Yeah, you have to dress accordingly. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I had to dress a bit like a tramp that night, and I was not dressed in anything protective.
Oh, no.
But anyway, it was a successful night, successful year for Canada. Anyway, that was fun. So that was my little story. I don't even know what kind it was. I just knew it was a 750.
A 750 sounds good.
Yeah, thank God I never had to drive one. But you were also telling me about some other things that you do. You said you were in bands.
Oh yeah. I mean, I was always a musician. I mean, we talked about me being a musician a little earlier at the beginning of the interview.
Yeah,
so
but what kind of bands were they? Because
they were like gothic.
Were you a goth?
I was a goth, yeah. They were in the 80s and early 90s. Yeah.
Did you wear Doc Martens and trench coats?
I not trench coats. I wore Doc Martens and very, very long leather coat from probably the 1930s, 1940s.
Oh, how did you get that? That's nice.
Like through a friend. I think it was one of those, I hate to say it, but what the Gestapo wore. Like those really, really long leather coats. So it was kind of scary looking and was so heavy that you couldn't hang it up on anything because it would break the hooks. You would just basically stand it down somewhere.
I'll be darned. Yeah. Speaking of Gestapo, we have an awful lot of people being taken away because they aren't documented workers around here.
Yeah, you told me about that. That's really, really upsetting. It's happening where I live too. People just being snatched off the streets randomly without any due process. People being deported from the country or just locked away without any due process. People being arrested trying to enter the country. They're even starting to do that to citizens now. I heard a story about this guy the other week.
Where?
Who was is like a vlogger. He has like a show on YouTube and a couple of other channels, and he's critical of the current U.S. government.
Really?
And he is a natural-born citizen of the United States. He has a global entry card, meaning that he should just sail through immigration. Mm-hmm. And he was detained for 4 hours at Chicago O'Hare Airport a couple of weeks ago and questioned about his political beliefs by immigration authorities, which is an absolute no-no, obviously. So those are really, really, really scary times.
Yeah, it certainly is. I just hope we get it all together and we return to having a kind and gentle country.
Absolutely, that's what we
respectful of the rest of the world and each other, because I write stories about people, and I always say the same thing. Every single person is good inside. And whatever affiliation they join could be a temporary glitch in their integrity. And if this country is going to heal from what's happening now everywhere, which is people not getting along and people having opinions on one side or the other side, if we're going to return to a healed and unified place, we have to love each other. We have to respect each other. And we can't fight each other. Just bring whatever you want to talk about in the open in a gentle way. And don't turn off the other side, but educate and embrace. And if we listen to each other, I mean, I know a lot of people who don't agree with what I say, but I listen to them and then they listen to me. And it's not an argumentative situation. And I think that's the basis of being an American.
Well said.
Listening and hoping and being optimistic. So you can do that with your music.
I'm trying.
Yeah, I know you
hope,
are.
And I hope people will listen. Yeah.
Yeah, they will. Because it's absolutely beautiful. Even if you don't have words in it, the music is so great. How did you start being a composer?
Well, I started back in the 1980s, so I was writing songs, but at a very rudimentary level.
But you went to school for it.
I did not go to school per se to write music. I went to school for recording music, for audio engineering school, and but I never really made that a career. There was actually I had something happened to me like in the early 1990s.
Can you talk about it?
I don't have a problem talking about it. I was out with some friends in a club. It was shortly after the Berlin Wall came down. I lived in Berlin back then.
Yeah, on November 10th, way back then.
November 9th actually.
Oh, sorry.
No worries. And we were, actually my friend was attacked by a group of neo-Nazi skinheads. And I intervened, and I was kicked in the head by someone, and I suffered
Traumatic brain injury.
Not traumatic brain injury, but hearing loss, and I had to have part of my eardrum was damaged, and I had to have surgery, and my hearing has been compromised since then. So I wasn't really able to do the audio engineering stuff anymore because I can't hear 100%. I can hear like maybe 80% on one side. So I did pursue another career because of that, but I still was always like in love with music, and I always loved music, and I started performing again in the late 2000s, and then in the 2010s I started at first teaching myself classical composition, and then I had a number of teachers over the years too that taught me, and that's kind of brought me back to writing and recording music.
And you've got your own studio.
I do have my own studio at home. Yeah.
Really?
So, which is not a big deal. These days, all you really need is a computer and a microphone, and not much else. It's not like the 1980s. In the 1980s, you needed a lot of money to record music. It was very expensive. Had to have studios with all that really hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of equipment. Today, you spend like $3,000-4,000 and you have a fully functioning studio, more or less.
Well, I'll leave that to you. I have a studio for my painting. It's called a plywood floor and a paintbrush. It's very
that didn't change so much.
It's the same thing. It's like I don't show anybody my studio because you just don't want to be there. But you have to have your own space when you're artistic, even if it's music or art or yodeling, whatever it is. You have to have your own space, and you have to find your own environment.
Yeah.
What works best for you environmentally?
It doesn't really matter that much for me. I can work anywhere, really.
Really?
Yeah.
I can't.
I just have to have like a certain amount of solitude.
Oh, that's what I need.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love solitude, and
No interruptions.
that's right. And are you an extrovert or an introvert? I'm an introvert who people think is an extrovert.
I'm an introvert who can sometimes be extroverted.
I guess that's good. But for every hour you're out and about with a bunch of people, do you need 3 hours to yourself?
I do, yeah.
Same here.
Yeah, it's
like
being an extrovert is very exhausting for me.
it's exhausting. And people say, "Oh, Heather, you're an extrovert." But no, I love people. But I have to have a lot of time of solitary environment.
Me too. The other thing about me and people is I have a hard time understanding conversations when there is a lot of background noise, since I had that problem with my hearing.
Yeah.
So going like to bars or other loud places, I usually only understand like 20% of what people are saying, and it's kind of very limiting, and it's a little embarrassing to keep having to either ask people.
Well, I have to do the same thing.
Yeah, yes, you have a problem with your hearing too, so you can probably empathize with that. So.
Yeah, and I think when you're in an environment like that, I've learned that I just don't hear everything,
Yeah.
and no biggie. But I've learned how to cock my head in a certain way when I'm in a couple of people, so I hear everything.
Yeah.
You know, it's like I hear that. Did you see me doing that over there when I was trying to listen to your music?
I did. Yeah.
It's like, and you understood. I didn't know you were hard of hearing too.
Yeah. Yeah.
It kind of runs in my family, but I think it's because I used to dive
Yeah.
and then fly, not scuba dive, but I used to dive on diving boards and then go up in a little plane. And I think the first time I ruptured my ear, I was 19,
Wow.
and then no, I was 15. It's true. I went off a swing in the lake and landed on my ear, ruptured my eardrum.
Oh.
And
So
then
it's the same thing that happened to me.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
whatever happened to the neo-Nazis who got you?
Oh, they didn't. I never found them really.
How's your friend?
Oh, he was not hurt seriously.
But you intervened.
I did. Yeah.
Are you still in touch with that friend?
On occasion. I mean, he lives back in Germany, so we talk on occasion.
How do you get over there? Do you go over there a lot? You've got a sister and a niece who work for Lufthansa?
I do, yeah. I don't go there that much because I have. Do you know what Flixcam is?
Pardon?
Flixcam. It's a Swedish word. It's called flight shame.
Flight shame.
Yeah, yeah. So I don't like.
Taximika.
I
That's
don't-
Swedish for thank you.
I don't like flying in airplanes if I don't have to. I try kind of to be conscious about my carbon footprint.
Oh, that's
which
right.
is so that's called flight shame. That's why I avoid airplanes.
Okay, I
So-
totally get that. Flight shame. Prince Harry went on a spiel about not enlarging your carbon footprint.
Yeah,
And then he takes private jets all over the heck.
that is insane.
Well, how hypocritical is that?
So I have not been to Germany in 4 years, I think.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go this year
Mhm.
because every year and then I have to. My family's there. My mother's getting old and all those kind of things. But I try to do it as little as possible. I never fly domestically. I never fly anywhere where I can drive to.
Good for you.
Basically, and I do ride motorcycles, but
They don't have much of a carbon
90
footprint, eh?
they do have a carbon footprint, but 90% of the time I ride an electric motorcycle. It's just not very feasible for very long trips yet. Like if I had ridden an electric motorcycle on my trip up here today, I would have stopped to charge like 7 times, and it would have taken me twice as long. So it's just not doable. But when I just ride around at home or go for a day trip or stuff, I have an electric motorcycles, and my cars are all electric.
I've got a hybrid.
You do have
Yeah, hybrid,
and I
yeah.
have my house is all has it's all hydropowered. So we have ground source heat pumps. So there's no carbon footprint of the house. We can heat and cool without any.
Very nice. We have some large movement here to get heat pumps here, but that would destroy our grid because there's not. It wouldn't be thermodynamic. It would be the heat pumps that are run on electricity.
Yeah.
Oh, yours are too?
Yeah, they run on electricity. Yeah.
Okay. Well, apparently around here, if we did that to every house, it would blow out our fuses or.
Got it.
So.
So you would have to invest in the electric.
Yeah, none of us have enough money for that. We can't pay any more taxes.
It's very expensive. I mean, heat pumps are expensive, but I have a job that pays well, and you have to put your money where your mouth is. And if I talk about people should lessen their carbon footprint, I should start with myself.
Good for you. In Vermont, we're pretty thrifty.
Yeah, I heard.
And we have to be. There's no shame in that. I think we're all pretty environmentally sound too. Because, like I told you when I was showing you around the house, because Dee is my guest at my house this night. So I set up the rules. Long list, eh? Don't do this, don't do that. This is broken, don't touch that. But the first thing I showed you, I said, this is garbage, this is recycling, and this is composting, and if you don't compost in Vermont, we just shoot you. And you didn't even laugh. You thought, that makes sense.
I actually said, as they should.
It's true, as they should. But we're very careful, and I've lived in Vermont. My daughter is 45, so I guess I've lived here. Well, I've lived here about 40 years. And I come from an environmental family. My father was electrical submersible pumps and sewage treatment. And we were in Quebec and Canada, and there was no littering. There was always a great community effort to keep things clean, keep things neat, out of pride and out of common sense. And then I lived in Chicago. Then I lived in New York City and Tulsa, Oklahoma, and various other places. And I find Vermont to be the most conscious.
They are.
And it feels very at home to be here.
Yeah. I love Vermont. It's like, I think it's my favorite place in the United States.
Well, I appreciate that. I don't want to take full credit for it, but we will, won't we? It is a great place. I love the people. I've learned so much about them. They've given me my dignity because I came here injured to Vermont, and I had a head injury. Nobody mentioned it. Nobody said anything about it. And 5 years later, I was in the store, and the owner of the store said, "Hey, did you hear about old Gregoire? He got hit by a tree last night. He has a head injury that'll probably never be the same." And I looked at him, and there's a whole crowd there. And I said, "Oh, but when I moved here, I had a head injury, and I'm okay now." And they all looked at me in unison and said, "Well, we knew there was something."
Oh my God.
But I said, "You never asked." And they looked at us, and they said, "It didn't appear you wanted to tell us." So for that 5-year period when I was getting better, and then I was better, but when you're better after a head injury, you don't have confidence. So you're always walking on eggshells. You don't know.
And people were just accepting.
They didn't say a thing.
Yeah.
And that's Franklin County, Vermont. I love them. I owe them who I am.
That's a lovely story.
Yeah, and that's Vermont.
Yeah.
They're
very kind people.
Kind, and they know when to ask you personal questions, and that is never. So why do I have a talk show? Because I ask personal questions. I guess I haven't learned my lesson. But we did have a discussion before. What do you not want me to discuss?
We did, and I volunteered to speak with you, so that's perfectly fine.
That's great. I didn't. What do they call it when you sneak up behind somebody and scare them and make them do something? Force. Didn't force you into this. Anyway, enough of that. I'm very fortunate to live here, and I'm forever grateful to live among all of you in Vermont. And when someone from away comes and says what he says about Vermont, we are so grateful to have you here, Dee.
Thank you. I'm very fortunate to be your guest, and I will keep coming back for the rest of my life, I'm sure.
Okay, great. Well, good luck in the puppy drive, or puppy ride.
Thank you.
And I don't know why they call it a puppy ride, because there's nothing motorcycle puppy at all. I saw him rip into this driveway, and it's like, that's not a puppy.
It's a big puppy.
It's a big puppy. It's like a Doberman.
It's a 1100cc puppy.
That is fast.
That is fast, yes.
Oh my God. Anyway, it's the only fast thing that's ever been around here. Mine's the 2012 Toyota. But anyway, thank you very much, Dee. We're going to splice in the music. This is being filmed before Labyrinth is released as an album. But we'll keep in touch with this young man, and you'll hear the music after the show.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Dee.
It's a pleasure.
It's so good to see you.
Thank you.
Thanks for watching Life is Good, and we'll see you next week. Good night.
Are you really gonna rock tonight?